Yo, it's your host Spinks, the Nothing's Normal podcast. Got my first guest, Nick Creegan, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Flyest light-skinned dude in light-skinned history. It's a bad man right here, man. Nothing's Normal podcast. How did I come up with the name Nothing's Normal? Well, I came up with the name Nothing's Normal. When you think about it, we in a society nowadays that's built upon a lot of judgment. We're in a judgmental society. So, of course, you got your standard norms. I'm not saying nothing is normal. But in reality, when you go into a room or if you move through life with the mindset nothing is normal, you get the chance to understand that everybody has their own way of life. That way of life is cool. As long as they don't oppress their way of life on you, you should be able to live with that. And, you know, I'm very optimistic and open-minded. I'm very understanding and empathetic. So I'm able to take myself out of what my norm is and put myself in somebody else's norm. So when you think about it, you know, average, right? We wake up, look at Instagram, brush our teeth, and get in the shower, go to work. To some people, that's not normal. Some people just get up, put their shit on, and go right outside. Yeah. Then you got those who are entrepreneurs and have multi-million-dollar businesses who would never work a 9-to-5 in their life. That's not normal to them. You know, society, you know, for us, you know, I get up, I go to work. That's normal. That's a normal day for me. That's not normal. Some people grew up with 2 parents. Some people grew up with 1. Some people grew up with none. So that's the concept of the whole nothing's normal. And, yeah, I think our opinions and perspectives deserve to be heard. You know, I'm here to speak for the people who accept different, right? I'm not going to overly judge or put you in a box because you don't do things the way I do. So that's pretty much where I'm at with the whole concept of nothing's normal. And I feel like my brother here, Nick Creegan, was the perfect gentleman to get. I've been knowing this kid 20 plus years since he was a little light-skinned kid with green eyes and a blue North Face. And
yo, you remember the blue North Face?
I remember the blue North Face, bro. I remember everything. So it's like, you know, I'm glad I got him here because I've been talking to him for a while. He's capable of elevating his mental to the top floor, I like to call it. Shout out to Alex, shout out to Kirk, shout out to JT, rest in peace, Bo. You see the garments, GBA on the garments. Shout out to the whole GBA, shout out to the CEO of that clothing line, Tails. And yeah, let's get into it. I want to introduce my first guest, Mr. Creegan.
What's up, man?
Let them know, you know, well, they obviously know your name already if they follow you on social media.
Yeah, man.
Let them know what you do. And
first off, bro, I'm proud of you, man. This is dope.
Yeah.
Like, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? We've come a long way from where we've started. Obviously, Greenberg native. Right. I dabbled in journalism for a while. I was a sports journalist for 6 years. Right. Interviewed some of your favorite athletes, and then eventually I just decided that the corporate world wasn't my playground anymore. Right. I couldn't see myself, like you mentioned, some people can't see themselves going to a 9-to-5. I just couldn't be confined to a corporate structure anymore where I couldn't wear whatever I wanted or, you know, some of my ideas weren't being implemented because of a hierarchy. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this part of my life. I really want to be an artist. I had always had art in my mind. You know, I liked acting. I just didn't see it as something that was realistic because I didn't see people like me. I mean, I would see people like me on TV, but I didn't see anybody from my neighborhood or people that I grew up with that had the opportunity to go and do things on TV and film. So one day I just decided to take things into my own hands and chase this dream. And now I consider myself a full-time actor. Whether how steady or unsteady it is, that's just where I'm at. So yeah, I've been acting for the past 4 years full-time. And, you know, boy. It's just I'm just happy to be home to be able to have these conversations.
Absolutely, you know? Me too. I'm happy to have you here, and not for nothing, you even more of a legend. I mean, this might sound crazy coming from me, but you know, Detective Stable is one of my favorite favorite characters of all time, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Maloney.
That guy, man. You was on the scene with him, man. You a legend in my eyes.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
But yeah. So I want to get into one of the topics today, energy. And I feel like you're one of the perfect candidates to speak to about energy. Y'all got a pair of glasses in? I feel like this is the part where I put my glasses on and get a little clipboard and I get a little smart. Energy. What's your take on energy?
I mean, for me, at this point in my life, energy's everything.
Everything.
If I step into a room and my stomach starts to feel weird, my chest starts to feel weird, I kind of start to pay attention to who's around me and why do I feel like this. I feel like one of the biggest overused quotes, but the truest quotes, is energy never lies.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
it's cliche, but
it's cliche, but it's real.
It's real shit.
You know,
sure.
for a fact, whether you ask your kid a question or your partner a question or whoever the person is, if you ask them a question and the energy feels off, you kind of start to wonder, like, are they keeping it real with me? Or you could step outside your house one day and you just feel like the energy is incredible, and you just know you're gonna have a good day. You don't know how today's gonna end up, what's gonna transpire, what's gonna take place. But if you wake up and your energy's feeling good, you look at the sun and everything's going right, you're like, you know what? I don't know what today is holding for me, but I know it's gonna be a good day. So I think energy controls everything. You know, energy and vibes is just how I lead my life, you know? Yeah.
Because when you think about it, as a child, when a child is born, they can't use words. Energy's the first form of communication. When you really break it down, you know, you could tell if a child is happy by the energy. They might some body language. They might smile. They might start turning red and start crying. It's like, okay, it's time to. So energy, like I said, is its own language in itself. And nowadays, is this famous quote: "Protect your energy." I'm a huge advocate of protecting the energy, and a lot of people might deem that as selfish. When you don't do things to the standard that people want you to do it at, they call you selfish. When really, I'm of no good to you if I'm not full. If my cup is empty, what could I pour into your cup?
Yeah.
So energy, when you protect it, it's hard to protect energy from the people you love because you just feel like you're not supposed to.
Right.
But I feel like if a person is really for me and genuinely loves me, then they shouldn't really want to rob me of my energy.
Right.
And vice versa.
I
Because
think
everything is vice versa. Nobody's perfect. I've robbed people of their energy before too.
Right.
So it's like, when you really sit back and think, it's like, you know what? You gotta be fearless.
Right.
Your energy.
You know, I feel like one of the biggest examples of people starting to protect their energy was COVID, right? Like 2020. That was the first time in my life I had ever had time by myself for real.
Right.
Where I was in my apartment, I wasn't seeing my mom for a while, I wasn't seeing my family, I wasn't working, I was just in my incubator. I call it like the incubation stage, where I got to try to just focus on what makes me happy outside of other people.
Learn yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
COVID, and people got a chance to learn themselves and those around you. It was mayhem in a lot of households.
Crazy.
Right. Yeah,
people realized they didn't know each other, or they didn't love each other.
It's scary.
You know what I'm saying? People were home with their kids for the first time. People were home with their spouses. They like, oh shit,
it's like, what the fuck?
I don't even want this life. Like, because half of the day I'm not even with them.
Right.
So for me, I feel like protecting your energy is, for me, that's just the most important thing. Yeah. Like, people, there's times where I go through phases of, I'll go out to public settings and social events, and I'll be around a whole bunch of people. Like, I was at Art Basel, I was around a whole bunch of people. The next week I came back to New York, and some of my friends were having holiday parties or inviting me to spots, and I was like, yo, I'm not going. Like, I love y'all, but I'm just gonna be by myself for a few days because I gotta recharge.
The brain needs time to charge. That's the thing. We take our phones home and we go in the room, we put it on the charger. We need that time too. Yeah, it's not personal. It's not personal.
And I think social media, that's another energy drainer, you know?
Yeah. See, social media is like the gift and the curse. And that's just life, period. You got to be able to take the good with the bad. That's why you got to install mental filters. You know, you got to be able to, just like I said, as much as a distraction social media can be, multi-billion-dollar corporations are ran through social media. Yeah. So you just have to take that time manually. Like, as humans, when it comes to mental, we get lazy. Yeah. Because mentally, you got to be in the driver's seat. See, love is one of those things I feel like we can't control. I don't feel like you can control who you love. And like I said, this is nothing's normal. This is only opinion. I'm not here to force my opinion on you. I'm just giving it to you from my perspective. I feel like love is something that you can't really control. I feel like you can see somebody. I believe in love at first sight. I believe in things such as those emotions is something that there's nothing you can really do about them.
That's a fact.
Now, trust, loyalty, honesty, you have to do that manually.
All of that built.
That doesn't happen for you automatically.
Yeah.
So that comes from here. That doesn't really come from here. That comes from here. You have to physically say, you know what? I'm not going to talk bad about this person today.
Yo, it's tough. It's tough.
It's
like
hard.
Romance and all of that, love. It's for me. I'm not
a dirty game.
like I know some people are full logical thinkers.
Right.
I don't really think 100% on logic.
Right.
Or else I feel like I wouldn't even be doing what I do for work because logically it wouldn't make sense to think that I could make it to where I've made it. So when it comes to like love, like you said, like I'm also a believer in love at first sight. Like I felt feelings for people like right away, and I'm like, damn, how does she get me to feel like this?
Yeah, how did this happen?
You know what I'm saying? But you can't explain it. And then there's some people who don't understand it.
No.
And they'll be like, dude, you're wilding. Like, you don't know this person, you know?
That's the thing.
Yeah, so I feel that, you know?
Yeah, so that's why when it comes to love, it's cool, but, you know, when it comes to, like, energy and relationships and things of that nature, I put love, like, further down the totem pole. Because you find out how lazy a person is once the love isn't enough to get it going.
Yeah.
I compare like love to like a car. So you can put as much gas as you want in the car. There's other things you have to maintain to get that car to run.
Right.
Oil change, the alternator. You can put 93 on it. It's not gonna fix the alternator.
Love is not enough to keep anything going.
But love is great. I'm not here to love shame. I'm just saying, for me personally, it's not at the top because, like I said, that's not something that you can really control. Communication is something that you have to manually do. It takes work. It takes patience. It takes compromise. It takes discomfort.
Yeah.
All of those things that when flesh is under pressure, instincts kick in.
Definitely.
So if your instincts aren't, you know, you're gonna be who you truly are under pressure.
100%.
So the love, I feel like, doesn't get touched no matter what's going on. It might transfer over to hate or whatever it may be, but for the most part, the love is going to be there.
Yeah.
Everything else, the trust is not going to always be there. So the respect is not going to always be there. The honesty, the honor, that's stuff you have to do. Good, bad, ugly, rain, sleet, snow.
But you know,
it's hard to do that.
What's crazy is when I was younger and I thought I knew what love was in high school or college, like things of like building a foundation of trust and friendship, like, and all of those things with whatever girl I was dating at the time wasn't in my forefront. It was more so about attraction.
Yeah.
Can we hold a conversation? Is the sex good? Things of that nature. And in reality, that stuff is fun and everything and cool, but it's not going to be sustainable. Like, that can't be the only thing.
It's not going to maintain.
Right. Like, you might, I love her, but I don't trust her. Then why are you with her?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
convenience.
Right. Whenever those you have to decide what's important to you in another person.
Right.
And I feel like as I've gotten older and more wise, I'm like, okay, physical attraction, yeah, that's cool and necessary, but that can't be what I base a relationship off of.
Right, absolutely.
Like, I remember my barber back in high school, my barber was like, dude, I've dated so many 10s in my life. He was like, my wife, this is his words, not mine. He was like, my wife's a 7. He's like, my wife, the mother of my kids, she's a 7 in terms of what other people might look at and see physically. But I know I could trust her with my life. She's loyal. She raises my kids the way that we need them to be raised. We're equally yoked. Absolutely. He's like, you got to pay attention to who you have kids with and who you want as your person. You 100%. Can't just think, oh, I want the baddest person in the room.
Right, yeah. At some point, you got to get out. We got to get past that.
Yeah.
And my thing when it comes to the situations like that is one of the most important things is be real with me. If you don't like something on me, tell me that. Yeah. So often we'll just go with the flow.
Right.
Which I don't want you to go with the flow. I want you to be honest. If you don't like, I don't like the earrings, take those off. I don't like this sweatsuit. I don't like this. Let me know. Don't just tell me you like everything about me. Right. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. This way, I got a saying. It's all opinionated, but the truth sounds like disrespect to those who haven't accepted it. So we human. We all got flaws. I'm not even talking about physical flaws. Just we all done some shit where it was like, whoa, why did I even do that? We all done shit that can drain the next person of their energy.
Right.
If you haven't accepted that, when somebody says that to you, it's gonna always be looked at as they're coming for you or they're trying to disrespect you. And that's not the case. I embrace those around me that tell me how they really feel, not just when they're upset or when the time calls. Or tell me how you really feel. maintain part of me being intertwined with you. And marriage to me means, what's the word that I'm looking for? In sync, right? So if we're married, because I feel like there's business marriages, there's regular marriage. Your job is to make sure I'm holding myself up to the standard that you know I can. That doesn't mean compliments all day. That might mean some uncomfortable conversations that I'm not ready to accept, but it has to get to the point where I can accept it. Because people will make you a slave to your flaws.
100%.
You might do something and they'll hold it against you for the rest of your life. So you have to be able to, people won't be able to use your flaws, make you a slave to your flaws if you've accepted them and ultimately worked on changing them.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are married since we're talking about marriage. It's so scary now, the like marriage and the dating scene, and it's times have changed. Like a lot of people don't even know who they're married to. Like you said, with COVID, people got a chance to really learn each other.
Yeah.
Where I feel like if the communication was up to speed, these are things we already know.
I mean,
we already know who's loud. We should already know these things.
There's a reason why, and I mean, I've never been married, and but there's a reason why marriage is a 50% divorce rate. Mm-hmm. Like only 1 out of 2 work. So like, why is that? I don't know the reason, and I'm sure there's many different reasons in every situation. But there's something broken in that whole idea of what marriage is. Clearly, because the shit doesn't work half the time. Yeah,
a lot of people don't want to be wrong, and then if they are wrong, they want to breeze through it fast. But when they're wrong, they want to marinate in it.
Right.
You know, they want people to marinate in what was done to them.
Right.
But when they do things, they want to, I said sorry already. So it's all about being humble. There's no more to me gender-based offenses. Like back in the days, you know, you would hear different things like, oh, it's not cool for a man to do this. It's not cool for a woman to do that. Now you can't tell who is who. So the problem is we're living off standards from the early 1900s. We in 2022. Back in those days, women wasn't allowed to work. You know, men were the providers. Nowadays, you'll find a woman that could provide for more than a man can, which is okay, if that's what the understanding is. So, you know, back in the day, women most definitely wasn't fighting back, wasn't cheating back. Like now, if you listen to music, like these women are trying to hurt us, and I can't be mad at them because you know what, Men, the typical story, stay at home, raise the kids. I'm going to work out here, run around, fuck the neighbor, go fuck this. So I'm not mad at them. They fighting back. Yeah. I'm all for it. But we still living by constitutional standards that we got to reform.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be reformed.
I do agree with that. Like, if everything else is being reformed, like, you know, we got to look at, like, what it actually means to be in a partnership with somebody. Right. What that really means. How do you evolve? Like, you have to constantly evolve. If we're evolving education and, like, rights and everything like that, why has marriage been the same exact formula since it started? Right. That's my whole thing. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying...
Nothing's normal.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's more... I think we'll wrap it up with that. I definitely want to further elaborate on these topics, but stay tuned. Nothing's normal. I'm going to get Nick back up here. We'll get a chance to dive more into his story and our backgrounds, how we met, things of that nature. This was just a little teaser for y'all. Nothing's normal. Be on the lookout. Shout out to the team. Love.